What's going on, drivers? Welcome to Trucking with Old Snapper. You got Old Snapper here. As you can see in this video, I'm running across 90 up in Montana. It's not real terrible right here. It's still dealable. Just got to slow down a little bit slick in spots, but it gets real bad later on. I doubt I'm going to talk long enough to get to the point that it gets terrible, but maybe I'll put some pictures up at the end. I ended up getting off in Big Timber, calling it and saying that's enough. Not going to push it any further. And they ended up shutting 90 down at Big Timber about 45 minutes after I got off the highway. It's a little bit rough out there, which kind of shocked me because Montana is normally pretty good at keeping up with it. But this snowstorm here seemed to kind of catch them off guard a little bit because they've had a lot of closures and different problems up and down 90 all morning. And I really didn't run all that far. I started in Billings, ran over to Big Timber. But, you know, this is where I prefer a manual. In conditions like this, I just prefer a manual. I feel like I have more control. I feel safer. I generally don't run as slow in a manual as I do in an automatic. In an automatic, I run a little bit slower. I don't feel like I have as much control. You know, it makes me more nervous. I don't know if I'm the only one that's that way. I don't know if any of you other guys kind of feel the same way, but an automatic in conditions like this really drives me nuts. I mean, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But it is what it is. It seems like winter every year now. It's been starting later and running till later. It's almost like our seasons are moving. You know, it's just odd. But maybe that's global warming. Maybe our Earth is tilting a little bit more than it used to. Hell, who knows, man? I'm no scientist, but it does seem like our weather patterns have started changing. Like summer starts a little later, goes to a little later. Winter starts a little later, goes to a little later. It's been seeming like that to me for about the past 5 years. But I don't know. I don't shut down very often. It's rare. And when I do, I usually feel bad because I feel like I'm not doing my job if I shut down. But gotta do what I gotta do. I'd rather get the load there late than not get it there at all. I'd rather call my company and tell them, hey, I'm parked, than to call them and say, hey, I need a tow truck. I slid off them in the ditch. You know, I do wish they would plow this parking lot though. The snow in here is probably a little over a foot deep. Just on the regular. I went to go inside the store earlier, and you need boots if you're going to walk inside the store. Otherwise, they're going to be wet all the way up to about your knees. I hope all of you out there are staying safe and staying out of trouble and dealing with these couple little storms that are coming across here. Maybe this will be the last of it for the year. Hopefully. You never know. Working for a company out of Fargo, you hope it's the last one of the year, right? You never know. I like winter in some cases, and in some cases I don't, you know. It's nice when you're out there securing a load and it's not 120 degrees and 100% humidity, but it sucks on days like this when stuff like this happens. Kind of messes the miles up, messes your week up. It's just the way it is, right? I know some people might disagree, but it sure seems like as an American trucker that we have lost this industry. You know, I'm parked here in this truck stop right now. I went inside earlier, like I said, and I'm one of very few Americans driving a truck. It's odd. Very few Americans. Like there's probably one American to every 3 or 4 people from other countries driving trucks. It's changed a lot. It's changed a whole lot since I first started driving. We're definitely outnumbered now. I think that's why protesting doesn't work, because foreign drivers don't give a crap about our politics. If we protest over something, they do not care. They're going to continue hauling loads. You know, you can turn that load down all day long if you want. They don't care. They'll go grab it. And they'll probably haul it for less money. I think that's a part of what's killing the industry on the brokerage side and other things in this industry, because they'll haul it for less money sometimes, but they get away with a lot. I know back when I got a CDL, you had to be able to read, write, and speak English in order to get a CDL. Our signs are in English. Most of the directions are in English. And then I noticed over time that started to change. I think that rule is still there. I was talking to a guy one time. He was foreign, but he was pretty friendly. And me and him were BSing, and he said a lot of the guys that come over here from other countries, the way they get a CDL without knowing English or being able to read or write English is they'll go to one of these states that allow the schools to test them. And they'll have an instructor there, whoever owns the school or whatever, speaks both languages. And he'll give them their test in their language, so they never have to learn how to read, write, or speak English. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what he was telling me. There might be a little truth to it. He might have just been pumping it up because he knows it bothers Americans. Who knows? But I know there's a lot of guys out here that don't speak English anymore. Another thing I think they do, I can't prove it and I might be wrong, but I really believe this happens. I think you'll end up with a truck and maybe 2 or 3 guys in that truck, and only one of them having a CDL, and the other one's not. And the reason I say that is because I've run up on them before where you can tell the guy driving, he ain't got no CDL. It's clear roads, middle of summertime, not a raindrop in sight, and he's doing 45 miles an hour, both hands on the steering wheel, all the way up to the front, looking out the window. You can tell he just started. He ain't got no CDL. The guy in the sleeper's probably got a CDL, but he don't. And I think when it comes to DOT, you can hear the chain or the scraper coming through. They're finally doing the parking lot. I think the DOT just doesn't want to deal with it. Like, can you imagine being a DOT officer and stopping them and trying to explain or get through anything? They don't care about our laws. I mean, you see these truck stops now going to crap, and I'm not saying Americans don't litter, because Americans do too. There's some nasty American truck drivers out here that do some nasty crap. But I think a lot of it is foreign drivers, because they come from a country where they may not have a garbage system like we have. They're used to just putting it out there in the street, just throw it out the window or just drop it on the road. It's not a big deal to them. And I just don't think they've adjusted to the way we do things here. And I think that's where a lot of our littering today comes from. A lot of the BS you see around truck stops, a lot of the stuff you see me film and put up on shorts. But I know Americans do it too. That's no excuse. Well, I'm shut down here in Timber and was bored and just wanted to get on here for a minute, make a little quick video, see how y'all are doing, show y'all a little bit of what's going on up here in Montana. If you're out here, they got 90 shut down in different places across the state. Probably going to be a pretty messed up day until tomorrow. Spread the word, let everybody know. Let me know what your thoughts are on some of the topics we talked about here down in the comments below. I appreciate all of y'all. Y'all stay safe, take care, and keep trucking.